Welcome to Discovering Jeeps, Jeeps, and more Jeeps. I'm once again on Drummond Island. This time it's for the annual Jeep Jamboree.
We have just a tad under 140 Jeeps, 300 people, Jeeps from 17 states, and we have just about every type of Wrangler that's ever been made on this event.
Then we're back in the kitchen with Mary Malnor for a taste of walleye. That's all tonight, so sit back and relax. It's Monday night and time for Discovery.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone, forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak, surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields, call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill, the eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
If you're into off-road adventure, the outdoors, and Jeeps, then Drummond Island is the place you want to be, especially in the middle of June for the annual Jeep Jamboree.
Hi, my name is Mike Olmstead. I'm the local coordinator for the Drummond Island Jeep Jamboree. This is our 26th year on this island doing a Jeep Jamboree. We're at the Turtle Ridge Off-Road Park right now, which constitutes just a portion of the Jamboree. Most of the Jamboree is out on the state trails, the state ORV route. Jeep Jamboree is a Jeep-only event sponsored by Jeep out of Georgetown, California. There are approximately 35 Jamborees throughout the country, from Maine to California and from North Dakota down to Florida. A Jeep Jamboree is typically a two-day trail ride where we have a just dedicated group of guides taking roughly 15 to 18 Jeeps out on the trails. This Jamboree, we have just a tad under 140 Jeeps. We have just a tad under 300 people. We have Jeeps from 17 states, and we have just about every type of Wrangler that's ever been made on this event. There are a number of features or obstacles on a Jamboree. Some of the ones you're going to see here is what is known as the Citadel. It is a long rock ledge, and it's from spots where you'll see where it's real easy for a Jeep to come up, from maybe a smaller or newer Jeep, to spots that are just absolutely insane for the biggest Jeeps with the big 37-inch tires to come up here. And that's a sidebar with Jamboree. They are catered for stock Jeeps because they're sponsored by Jeep, Fiat Chrysler Automotive. The biggest tire you'll see on a Jeep here is going to be 37 inches, even though there are tires up to 48 inches that go on Jeeps. We try to keep it smaller, family-oriented. Another feature about the Drummond Island Jamboree, we have out of the 300 people we have here, we have over 50 kids. There isn't another Jamboree that has as many kids as we do per vehicle. We have 300 people, we have over 50 kids. If you look around, all the kids that are just up here playing all the time. The Jamboree is a family event. When you look at some of the pictures of the Citadel, you're going to see pictures of kids standing back out of the way just watching what they're doing. Parents bring the kids, and the kids just love it because you don't get anything like this down in the city or down in rural areas. This is God's country up here. All jamborees are different. About 2/3 of them offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some offer what they call trails only, just dinner you're on your own for. Obviously, in a place like Drummond Island, we can't just do dinner only because there aren't enough restaurants on the island to feed 300 people at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so we gotta take care of that ourselves. In our case, Detour Area Schools does our breakfasts for us at the town hall. Local party store does box lunches for the day when we're out on the state trails. We're at lunchtime right now. The Drummond Island Lions Club does our lunch for it, and it's a hot lunch. It is one of the few jamborees in the country that do a hot lunch. Drummond Island is a very unique venue for a jamboree. All the jamborees are held in areas where four-wheeling is necessary to get to see the action. But Drummond Island, it is not on its way to any place. If you're on Drummond Island, you went there on purpose, okay? That's one of the things that make it unique. The fact that it's on an island makes it unique to the jamborees. We're not doing dinner in a banquet hall. We are outside. We are up in the rustic where you got the stars and the moon and the blue sky. Just an awesome, awesome venue for a jamboree. We're going to show you a couple of the other elements or obstacles that at Drummond Island Turtle Ridge Off-Road Park, part of the Jeep Jamboree. One of them is going to be called the ledges. That's another V-notch, where there's a couple of V-notches where you'll see a couple Jeeps try to make up it, and because of the good guides we got, they're all going to make it, I guarantee it. One of the things we try to do is be conscious of everybody that's in a group. So when a person gets to an obstacle, we give them 3, maybe 4 tries to get up that obstacle, because there's always someplace easier to get up. You'll see some people, they'll try it a couple times, then we'll move them down just to keep the line going, because we want to be considerate of everybody else that's in the line. One of the biggest things Jeep Jamboree is really strong on is tread lightly. You may not think so when you see some of the rock climbs, but those rock climbs are also at a dedicated off-road park where these things are permitted. Jeep Jamboree is Jeeps only. It was started by Mark A. Smith in the early 50s, and he just catered that thing out in California, just so Jeeps, and at the time, all Jeeps were what we would think of as a Wrangler today. Jeep aficionados refer to their Jeeps by their manufacturing code: a CJ, a YJ, a TJ, a JK, or a JL. Then you've got the ZJ and the XJ. If I'm confusing you, just go on the website and just Google XJ Jeep and you'll see what it is. And I'll tell you real quick, an XJ is a Cherokee, a ZJ is a Grand Cherokee, CJ is the old military style Jeep, and then a YJ is a Wrangler, a TJ is a Wrangler, and a JK is a newer Wrangler. So it's got to be a Jeep or you can't bring it out here. On a Jeep Jamboree such as this one, we provide breakfast, we provide lunch, we provide dinner, we provide all the necessary DNR permits on the trail. We take you out, we bring you back, we'll help you if you get stuck, and then it closes at the end of Saturday night with a little program with some thank yous and some prize drawings, and just a get together where everybody just afterglow for the way the event has gone. Trail guides work hard to make sure these people get to use their equipment the way it was designed. The trail guides are the backbone of the Jamboree. We usually have 2 trail guides with each group. We've got a front door and a tail gunner. The trail guides pre-run the trails all week to make sure that they're open, that they're clear. We pre-run them. We've been up here since Monday. That way we can see the condition of the trails and make last-minute adjustments so that there is no bottlenecks or no timing issues on a Jamboree. Trail guides take them out 8 groups, 8 separate ways. Trail guides lead the groups out. They take them out to the trails. When you get to a feature such as a cliff or a water crossing, they will make sure that everybody accomplishes that feature safely. The trail guide crew are all volunteers, and they come from all over the state of Michigan. The closest trail ride to the Drummond Island Jamboree is about 3.5 hours away. The farthest is about 6. These guys, like I said, they're volunteers. They come up where we spend the week working on these trails to make them right. On the Drummond Island Jeep Jamboree, the average tenure of my trail guide is 9 years. We have collectively, for our trail guide crew, 450 years experience off-roading and jeeping. So it's a very, very experienced and seasoned crew that we have on the island. We have roughly about a 35 to 40% return rate. In other words, people come back, 3 out of 10 people come back every year to the same event because they have such a good time. If you're interested in doing a Jeep Jamboree, and a lot of people are, go to their website, which is on the screen right here, and sign up. Registration opens in usually around December. In November, they'll start announcing what trips there are. And like I said, there's 35 Jamborees all over the country. There's probably about 10 that are within driving distance of southeastern Michigan, which is where some of the trail guides are from. The biggest thing with signing up for Jamboree is they sell out fast. The Drummond Island Jamboree sold out in less than 30 days this year after the open registration. So make sure you look at it and check it out. We've got a couple Jamborees out east, the high population center of the country, sell out in a couple hours. So if you're interested in doing a Jeep Jamboree, jump on the website, take a look, and check us out.
It's the end of June, and by now there's a good chance you've got a couple of walleye fillets in the freezer waiting for a fresh idea of how to turn them into supper. After the break, we're back in the kitchen with Mary Malnor for a look at one of my new favorites.
Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a coconut curry sauce to go over some walleye. We're going to pan sear the walleye with a little bit of Thai seasoning, a dry Thai rub, and we're going to use some coconut milk, some coconut aminos, some curry paste, some curry powder, and a couple other magic ingredients, and let's get started. First, a little bit of roasted sesame oil, and that's going to give it a real nice deep flavor, probably about a tablespoon. Coconut aminos, which we're going to use in place of the soy sauce. And then here we have the curry powder, some cumin, some turmeric. This is going to be a beautiful golden sauce. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of the roasted sesame oil on our walleye, and then we're going to put a little bit of our Thai seasoning on here. This is a little bit spicy, so it's got a little bit of red pepper. I'll get the other side. Some cilantro, all kinds of good stuff. First thing we want to do is get a lot of garlic and a lot of ginger in here. So we want to get our fragrant herbs and spices in here to get it going. Again, we're doing the layering technique, so we're going to keep adding and adding and adding. So I've got four or five small cloves of garlic. We're going to use, you can add more to your taste. And I've got just a great big knob of fresh organic ginger. We're going to do the same thing. That way you're not going to get any big chunks of garlic or ginger, which can be a little bit hot, both of them. We don't want to ruin the flavor profile. So now we want to add some chopped rainbow peppers. I've got some orange and some red peppers. We're just going to dice those and put those in. Again, we're just going to sweat these out. Got about a quarter of an onion here, sweet onion. So we've got some Thai red curry paste. It's different than curry powder. This is all the spices and the ingredients, and then they make it into a paste. This is going to add a beautiful color and flavor. Again, we're layering, so we've got the garlic and the ginger. Now we've got the curry paste. Let that sweat out and simmer a little bit. So our next layer, we have our turmeric, regular curry powder, a little bit of a hot curry powder, and a little tiny bit of cumin. This is also going to act as a thickening agent. I'm going to do 2 drops of ginger oil and 1 drop of the cumin oil. So it's almost making like a roux. So we're going to let these flavors kind of blend together. Now in place of our soy sauce, we're going to use the coconut aminos to keep the sodium level down. I like it better because it doesn't assault you with just salty sodium in the front of your mouth. We're going to use a tablespoon of coconut sugar. Now you could also use brown sugar, cane syrup, honey, maple syrup. I like the coconut sugar. We're going to add a can of coconut milk. And I've opened this and I separated it. And you can see the coconut water or the coconut liquid was on top. And then all we have right here is coconut cream. All that's in here is coconut and water. No thickener or anything to homogenize it and keep it together so it will separate. So you can use this in place of whipped cream. Look you can see how thick it is. Isn't that awesome? So we're just going to put this right in here and it's going to just melt like magic. So in years past, because the coconut, you can see that coconut milk was solid at room temperature. They thought that, like the coconut oil, they thought that's what was going to happen in our arteries and it wasn't going to be good for us. But what they forgot about was that it's a good healthy fat and our brain needs it. It's really good for our metabolism. So I really like to use coconut milk, coconut oil. Then I'm going to add the liquid that was in there. And we're going to turn this up and we're going to let it simmer so that all those vegetables get nice and soft. So what we have here is black forbidden rice. I did this a little bit earlier because it takes probably about 25-30 minutes to cook. It's very, very nutty, rich in antioxidants. You can tell by the dark color in here. This used to be only for the emperor. The commoners weren't allowed to eat the forbidden rice. I try to use it as much as possible in place of rice. Sometimes I'll use a white rice, a jasmine rice if I want something light, but if I want something more substantial, I'm going to go with the black forbidden rice all the time. I just love it. It doesn't get sticky and hold together. Each of the grains kind of stays separate, which is what I really like about it. I've got the pan heating up. I'm going to use just a little bit of coconut oil in here. Coconut's got a high smoke point, so I just want to do it really, really quick. It's not going to break down at all. This is a virgin coconut oil, so it's got a really nice coconut flavor. And again, good for the body, it's good for your brain, good for your metabolism. This you could do with salmon. You could do this with cod, really any fish. All of this stuff that we're doing here is all anti-inflammatory, so it's really, really good. This is absolutely one of my favorite ways to serve fish. It's a little bit different. It's not your standard pan-fried or grilled or breaded, baked. It's just a nice change of pace. Ooh, look at that. Look at that crust we got on there. Oh, okay. So our fish is done, our sauce is done, and our rice is done. So we're gonna plate up a little bit of our black rice. We want a little bit of sauce in here. Look at that, it's just falling apart. Here we go. We're gonna top it just with a little bit of cilantro. And there you go. Got our forbidden rice, pan-seared walleye, and a coconut curry sauce. All set to go.
We've all heard about the recent flood devastation in the UP and the fact that Governor Snyder has declared a state of disaster for Houghton and Menominee counties. By declaring a state of disaster, help can now come from the National Guard as well as all state resources. Help is also coming from a source even closer to home. On Thursday, June 28th at the Pavilion in Chassel, it's Bluegrass to the rescue. The Paul Family Bluegrass Band, Keweenaw Brewgrass, and Chase and Steel, in conjunction with the Houghton Chamber of Commerce and Portage Health, come together for a special 3-hour benefit show beginning at 7 o'clock. There's a suggested $20 donation, with all proceeds going directly to flood victims in Houghton County. It's a great way to help out and hear some great bluegrass at the same time. Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to check out 906outdoors.com, where you'll find the 906 Fishing Report, TV6 weather, shopping, and more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week right here on Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.